Welcome to the Dr. Ramsey Show, sponsored by Revitalize Functional Medicine. If you're looking for health tips released consistently every week, you've showed up to the right place. We're grateful that you're joining us, and now your host, Dr. Teresa Ramsey.
Hi, welcome back to the Dr. Ramsey Show, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm going to interview on Zoom someone who's been educating me a lot about finding the perfect amino acids. So this is the booklet that I've been reading from Dr. Minkoff, and then the amino acids that we are going to talk about today are called the perfect amino. So let's get to know Chase Baldwin from Body Health and to give you some information on why it's so important to consider amino acid supplements to your diet. So we're talking to Chase Baldwin. We're talking about amino acids, and this is going to be a great show because I really got educated when I was talking to Chase not too long ago. I am really passionate about using amino acids in my practice. I think that everyone needs to understand the importance of amino acids in their diet and as a supplement. So Chase, I'm really glad that you're able to join us today.
Me too.
My patients love the amino acids. I love them. I'll share some of my stories, but I just want to get some education out there because for me, it was hugely lacking.
Yeah,
So
it is
acids,
with a lot of people.
Yeah, amino acids I know we get from, animal proteins and vegetable proteins. I told you I was a carnivore. I eat meat 3 times a day, and you told me that's still not enough.
Yeah.
So do we get enough protein?
It's an interesting question. Like there's a huge world of practitioners out there that say we eat too much protein.
I know.
And they're totally right. Like our bodies, as we get older, we lose the ability to actually process protein and it becomes toxic on us. However, we don't get enough amino acids, and the differentiation needs to be there for the two. Eating protein, we have all of the waste to break down, and eating amino acids, if they're pre-digested, it is just pure cellular growth, which is what we lack.
Right. And that's what I feel when I take them. And so how come I'm not getting enough protein from my animal protein?
Well, if you look
acids, I should say amino acids.
If you look at the world of what has to happen, like if you just look at the process, let's say eating 3 square meals of meat a day, let's say you eat a pound of beef or animal protein, you've got 400 grams, give or take, of food to digest in an effort to get roughly 60 grams of amino acids out of it. And of those 60 amino acids, most of that, actually about 70% of that turns to carbohydrates like the rest of it. So you're eating a pound of meat for 30 grams. Yeah. Pound of meat, 30 grams of growth.
So you're saying if you're not using the protein to build tissue, your body stores it as carbohydrates?
Absolutely. It turns to energy or stored as fat.
I just thought my sugar and fat stored to fat. Okay.
It becomes sugar. The difference between a protein and a carbohydrate's that little bit of nitrogen. So once it knocks off that nitrogen, it's a carbohydrate like anything else.
Interesting. You always teach me something. So the perfect amino, which I love, that comes in a powder as well. These are all the essential amino acids, correct?
That's correct. The quick thought on that. There's 8 of them. If you look at research studies from across the world, there's a large area that says there should be 9 or 10. Those are the 2 other numbers. And really that's a mixture of essential amino acids and conditionally essential amino acids, where we don't mess with the conditionally essential. We're looking to affect as much of the population as possible.
Yes.
And the 1 in 3 million people that need histidine or arginine that can't produce it, those are, you can get those through food.
It's interesting because I do nutrient testing and I commonly see arginine as a deficiency in people.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. It is. I assume you're talking about like the ion panels, or?
I do like SpectraCell nutrient profile.
Oh, right on. Right on. Yeah, it is common. Amino acids, if you look at Dr. Minkoff's, the LifeWorks clinic, he tests amino acids on most patients and has over 20 years. And he's pushing somewhere of around 93% of his patients show up with deficiencies in 1 or more essential amino acids. Wow. So yeah, it's fairly common.
I'll see glycine. I'll see that a lot. Tryptophan.
Yep.
Yeah. So
tryptophan. Quick thought on that. Like tryptophan, you see as a deficiency right now. The world of collagen and BCAAs are very big essential amino acid products. and tryptophan is the thing that they tend to lack. So you're seeing more and more people that are elevating some of the essential amino acids, but really it ends up being a big sugar increase because they don't have tryptophan added to their diet. So,
Mm. That's interesting because I used to take branched chain amino acids,
mhm,
which are, for those listening, the amino acids that prevent muscle breakdown, like when you
yep,
work out. And since I've been on the perfect amino, I haven't needed them. I haven't thought
yep.
about them. My workouts are great. And like you told me, and I did not think you were right when you said, athletes who run triathlons who take these don't have any soreness afterwards. It's like they just went on a walk around the block. And I'm finding that to be true too,
Yeah,
which tells me
it's so
my
cool.
my tissues aren't breaking down like they used to. And that's what this is all
That's
about.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw in your book, this book that you guys sell at Body Health, I was reading this and basically I took away, anybody who has insomnia has amino acid deficiency. Anybody who has weight gain, anybody who has weight loss, anybody with fatigue, depression, look at their amino acids first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it goes beyond that too. Like cellulite in the legs in women is a key indicator. Ridges on the fingernails is a key indicator.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really a long list of things that you can go, well, there it is. It's showing up.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly. So, I'm seeing like tissue repair happening so much faster. But what else, like, can you say for patients who don't think about, or people who don't think about taking amino acids because they think they eat enough protein? What would you say?
they're wrong. Quite simply, it is just too large of a task to eat enough essential amino acids not to be deficient somewhere.
Mhm.
So if you look at, again, like a pound of meat nets you roughly 60 grams of essential amino acids. You're taking in 320 grams of energy wasting breakdown, right? Like the number
Mhm.
one energy consumption our body has is breaking down food.
Sure.
Protein being the most complicated of that food to break down.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
can't eat enough. And this is true. There's a lot of diets out there that are specifically, we correlate with animals that eat the same diets. Like, for carnivores, it's a lion. Well, if you look at the way a lion actually eats, they will gorge themselves over a period of a few hours once every 3 or 4 days.
Mhm.
So we take the eating meat, but we don't actually take the how they do it, right?
Yeah.
Herbivores, we look at them, they're people that, whether it's a horse, a cow, it doesn't matter. They eat constantly. It's their only job. And that's what it takes to actually get enough protein from
Mhm.
an amino acid deficient product like beans or
Right.
any legumes, right?
I agree. I
It's
agree.
such a workhorse requirement. We just don't do it. So we eat our standard 3 meals a day, a little bit of food, and it's not enough. It doesn't matter how big it is.
Mhm,
So
mhm. And then a lot of people, take antacids, right? So that to me is, we're not absorbing any proteins at all at that point. Do you agree?
big red big red flag.
Yeah.
Antacids are I think it's one of the cruelest jokes that the pharmaceutical industry has made in the past decade or two. Is the increase has been astronomical. And yeah,
Mhm.
talk about an instant way to make somebody sicker. Remove their ability to digest food.
And so many people take them. And we do this in our clinic, is we help people get off of them safely so they're not having, acid in their esophagus. There's lots of ways to get people off of those drugs. And they just take them like candy to, not have pain in their stomach,
Of course,
not
Tums
realizing.
growing up.
Yes, yes, for your calcium. Not
Yeah.
realizing how harsh that is on our body. So if we are taking antacid, how well we absorb your amino acid product.
Well, if you're taking antacid, first off, our amino acids require no digestion, right? So it's the saving grace is it's already done. It literally just has to dissolve. So yeah,
So they
I
can take
for
it and they'll get benefit. It won't be a waste.
100%, most likely, and knock on wood, this isn't something that I swear or I promise or any claim whatsoever, but everyone in my family and in my life that was on antacids came off of them within a few months of taking Perfect Amino. Like it's just your
Yeah.
body starts making what it needs to actually digest food. Pepsin requires amino acids, as
Yeah.
does biotin. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's amazing. And just as, simple knowledge can help people in such a big way, I
Yeah.
think. What about like neurotransmitters? like
No,
neurotransmitter balance. Because, I'm a hormone specialist. I think about neurohormones. We lost you there for a second.
sorry about that.
No problem. Tell me about amino acids in our brain chemistry.
So that's also, so we can go down a rabbit hole with that, right? Or we can elevate it to a simplistic understanding for everyone.
I like that.
There is not a single system in your body that is not requiring amino acids every day. And more specifically, every few hours, right? Like there's no storage system for it. Your brain's function, take out the energy transfer, like from cell to cell, there's always energy, which is why things like electrolytes are so important, and mineral content, magnesium, like these are hypercritical for the communication from one cell to the next. But the cell's existence requires amino acid. The metabolism of breaking it down, building a new one, using the old ones to make more non-essential amino acids so that it can continue that cycle, that process. It's whether it be the endocrine system, your hormonal balances, your ability to be happy, sad, sleep strong, or sleep well, control functions, mitochondria as a whole. Like if you don't have essential amino acids, it cannot be there. It does, you
Cells
wither.
can't perform. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I started taking, because we'll talk about dosing here in a minute. And I want to make sure I have the dosing down, right? So let me say,
Sure.
I weigh 140 pounds. So my dose is 7 tabs twice a day.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
What I do though, instead of taking 7, is I keep a bottle out in my kitchen, my bathroom, my desk. And whenever I pass by with an empty stomach, I take 4 at a time. So I'm probably taking more some days. And then sometimes I could do that. I'm not even hungry for food. Like
That's
I take
right.
it every couple of hours and I'm not even hungry.
Yeah, satiation is a really cool thing. And I do a lot of fasting. I talk to a lot of practitioners about fasting because it's one of those things. People have been doing it for thousands of years, and yet we have very, very young research on what autophagy has only been discussed medically for 2 years now, maybe 3. So yeah, it's a very young thing. So I think any insight any individual can add to the knowledge pool better.
Yeah. So are you saying
hormones,
fasting, like we could fast with water and the amino acids for a while and be okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you just
Absolutely.
inspire me to do that.
I do. I try to do one day a week. I try to fast 24 hours with nothing but water and perfect amino.
That is
So
amazing. I mean, that's like the best detox you could do.
it's incredible. It is. It's
Yeah.
way easier than doing a dry fast too, because at the end of the day, hormones like hunger are hormones. Yeah, and a hunger spurt hits you and it's there and you're like, oh, I have to eat. And really, most of the time, it's a hormone spike that says, oh, you need to put some sugar in my body.
Yes.
So
yes.
once that stops, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's really true. And I think too, I've heard from my patients that these amino acids have curbed sugar cravings. Makes them want to eat better. They feel better. They're more balanced.
That's true. That's true. It's, if you look at whenever you have a new patient or just an individual trying to grow into, I hate to say it, like more causative, be more causative about what their health is. Like, do you live to eat or do you eat to live? Right. I mean, everybody loves cheesecake. It doesn't make it something that you should do every day.
No, I totally agree. And feeling more sound in our overall health, having less cravings, we could have 3 bites of that cheesecake and feel completely satisfied.
That's right.
I'm always trying to find that balance, with patients.
It's a really cool, and yeah, that's exactly it. Like I've got some people that I've been working with that, gosh, they've gone down. This one lady, she was size 16 when she started taking Perfect Amino. She's size 8 now. She started taking them in June of last year. So during COVID, she has lost weight and is just glowing and radiant at this point. She was on 14 medications.
And
now she's on 0.
When the body has what it needs, we don't need chemicals to keep us alive.
That's right. That's right. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It said to me, and I think I got this right from last time, that when you take in 1 gram of Perfect Amino, you burn 1 gram of fat.
That is correct. Well, it's not 1 gram of fat. So when you take in 1 gram of Perfect Amino, you actually break down 1 gram of body. Right. So whether that be proteins, old proteins, free radicals, That is what the metabolism is the relationship of new amino acids break down old proteins or cells to get non-essential amino acids.
I see. I
Does that
see.
make sense?
Yeah, and it does help. I was thinking of adding it to my weight loss program. It's already successful, but I think it would make it even easier for satiety, faster losing, and feeling better throughout the weight loss program.
Yeah,
And
we're working on actually recreating our own weight loss program, and the first 6 weeks will simply be perfect amino and the complete multi, because we find that there's so much transformation there when you start taking perfect amino. As you know, like that first 6 weeks, you were like, okay, yeah, that's it. Like,
exactly.
it's incredible for that, and then you can really you don't start a program on false pretenses, right? Like if you take somebody who's just completely unhealthy and say, get rid of a little bit of sugar, suddenly they start cutting weight and it's like, oh, this is a miracle product.
Yeah.
There's a practitioner in Lawrence, Kansas that has a line of products. Then Dr. Minkoff just purchased them because he had some patients come in and they had great success. So he's like, let's order it. And he tried to, and the doctor called him and was like, you don't need to order this. I know who you are. This stuff is garbage. Why are you ordering this? And he's like, it threw him back. And the reasoning was perfect. You have people come in that are completely unhealthy and you try to give them something that's really good for them and they won't take it because it's not sweet, it's not made out of, or it's made out of quality ingredients and they've never had that.
Yeah.
Right. So give them that baby step in and don't change your diet. Just take perfect amino. Do everything else the same. 6 weeks of that, you're going to see such great changes. The next step's easier.
Yeah.
And then the next step's easier.
That's how I talk about hormones too, is let's talk about weight after your hormones are optimal. You'll feel a lot better inevitably.
Exactly.
Same idea. Yeah. Same idea. So
Baby
you think
steps.
of this as a part of our macro diet, right? You know, we could literally get rid of all the animal protein and eat this as our protein.
Yes, we can.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it is vegan, right? So yeah, and I said, and it is vegan. So yeah, that works.
It is vegan. That's even better, because the first people I think about is my vegetarians. That's who I think about first. Give me the next 5 people you think about who could use amino acids. The perfect amino.
Vegetarians, vegans, manic depressed, or bipolar, anyone that's been categorically put into this bucket of hormone inconsistencies, right? Elderly, people that feel like they're old, or anyone that says, oh, I'm getting too old, or I'm not as young as I used to be. My mother realized one day that protein deficiency is old age. Like if you look at every symptom of old age, you could go,
she's a wise woman, your mother.
She is. She's a wonderful woman. She was in the throes of menopause when she started taking perfect amino and ended up going back to having her period. Really, I don't know, good or bad that is, but she's fine sleeping through the night.
You're gonna be our first 9-year-old has a baby.
God, I hope not.
Me too. Me too. And of course, athletes go with saying.
Athletes they need a mass amount, right? But everybody should be an athlete. That's the trick.
Yes. So, what about does the perfect amino help with injuries, like repairing tissue faster?
Yes, it is.
Imagine.
Again, it's as we were talking about, 1 cell or 1 gram of perfect amino is 1 gram of new body material, right? And the body, the beauty of it is it's not pigeonholed to be a specific thing. Like collagen is skin, nails, and hair is better. Maybe make some new tendons, which isn't actually true unless you add tryptophan to the product. But everything has this pigeonhole. Perfect amino doesn't. It's just raw material. Your body does what it does based on its own systematic desire. Everybody, I call it a checklist. Like everyone has a checklist. You might take perfect amino thinking I want bigger muscles, and it might go, buddy, your hormones are whack.
They'll get your muscles later.
Exactly. But when you have physical body damage, it tends to make that priority number 1. There's a wonderful, wonderful practitioner. She's super athletic up in Oregon that just completely tore her Achilles. And yeah, she's she's been taking 10 grams every 3 hours now for about a week and a half. And, as she's progressing a lot faster than she should be.
Right.
I
That's
really wish I could get the NFL to listen.
I know. And that's what this is all about. Well, the reason we do the Dr. Ramsey Show is just to educate people, and they
Yeah.
can pass it on to their friends, because, it's word of mouth, this education, and unless people are
Yeah.
seeking it out. And I just really appreciate the product. It's made a huge difference in my practice.
That's so fantastic. I love it. And there's so much room for
Right.
more and more. My family's goal is to have perfect amino in every single human being. Like there's
Right.
no one that doesn't need it.
I agree.
So
We can just keep taking these, right? We have to take breaks from them at all?
I took a break for them for lab testing. But short of that, no.
No.
Like I can't imagine ever not taking perfect amino. It's actually been really, quite honestly, noticeably worse, not taking perfect amino on a daily basis. I don't sleep as well. I don't want to get up as easy. I'm
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I don't really want to take a break from them either, but I just feel so efficient the way my body works right now.
It's so fantastic. It's
I
good to
know.
know.
Thank you so much for reaching out to me and, putting me back on your books and talking about this stuff again.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I
Yes,
know
ma'am.
you
It's so
carried your
fantastic.
products years ago, and here we are again.
And you didn't even remember.
No, that's right. Because I wasn't taking them probably.
It happens all the time. I can call a doctor and be like, "Hey, how's it going? I haven't heard from you in a while." And I know immediately if they actually know what perfect amino is or not. They're, "Oh yeah, we have you." No, we're gonna do this other product.
Yeah.
It's
I wouldn't
sugar.
recommend any other amino acid product to anybody.
Yeah, it's speaking of education, because there is a lot of products out there. When I was on Facebook, which I'm not really anymore, but I would have, 3 or 4 amino acid products pop up on my feed every day. And so there's a trick that I learned very early on how to tell them apart. If you can turn and look at the nutritional guide on the product and it says there's any significant amount of calories, 20 calories, 30 calories, when you look at the basics of 1 gram of protein has 4 calories in it, according to what nutritional standards are.
Yeah.
And you're taking a 10-gram product that has 20 calories. Well, if that's 4 grams of 4 grams of or 4 calories per 1 gram of protein and 10 grams, so you're already wasting 50-60% of one scoop is turning to sugar by their own statements. Like, what's the point of taking that product?
No calories on it.
Yeah, there's Nestle's one of the worst of it. I looked at this product. It was Resource, I think. A patient called and was looking desperately for it because a doctor just told him to take it at a local hospital for his wife. Had no idea, and the first 3 ingredients were canola oil, sugar, and high fructose corn syrup.
Okay, but at least they're mentioning amino acids in the hospital.
Right? Exactly.
That's funny. Well, you really are a wealth of knowledge. And if people have questions and call, maybe we could do this again and answer some of their questions directly.
Absolutely. I will tell you what, I think that we should get Dr. Minkoff with you. And
I would love it.
Yeah, I will get that happening. Okay.
Please do, because Dr. Minkoff, he's the researcher behind this product.
Yes, he is.
And Dr. Minkoff is the one who wrote this book as well.
Yes, he is. And he's so much prettier than I am.
We all have different things to offer, right?
That's right.
Thank you, Chase. I really appreciate your time today. It's been lovely talking with you.
Yes, ma'am. Until next time.
Until next time. Take care, my friend. And I know that was a lot of information. I could learn so much from him. I already have. It's made such a difference in my life and my patients. If you're interested, you can go to bodyhealth.com, or you can call us. We sell the amino acids and we sell the book as well. I highly recommend reading the booklet because it's fascinating what amino acids do in our body. I think it will just encourage you to want to take them even more if you can identify with the causes of deficient amino acids in our body. So thank you so much. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for our episode next Tuesday. Stay healthy and happy. Until next time.